What happens when a few seconds of a variety show interaction become a full-scale online battle, and then, just when the controversy seems impossible to escape, the artist answers with a fresh music success? That is the question surrounding Liu Yuning right now. For viewers following the story, the situation has developed across several very different fronts: a variety show controversy involving Gong Jun, an escalation into online attacks, a legal statement from Liu Yuning's studio, and now a new musical achievement that has shifted attention back toward his career. So, after all of this, what could happen next for Liu Yuning? At Celeb Buzz Insider, we are not going to pretend that anyone can see the future. Instead, we are looking at the facts that have been publicly reported and asking what several reasonable paths might look like from here. The original controversy began around an interaction between Liu Yuning and Gong Jun on the variety show Earth Fresh 2. A short clip showing Liu Yuning pushing Gong Jun toward a muddy area spread online, and some viewers interpreted the isolated footage as inappropriate behavior. But reports about the fuller segment described the interaction as part of the show's playful game environment, with Gong Jun also participating in the back-and-forth physical joking. Both stars subsequently indicated that their private relationship remained good. That distinction matters because the controversy eventually moved beyond a discussion of one television moment. According to reports, the online debate expanded into personal attacks and the circulation of allegedly misleading or defamatory material about Liu Yuning. On July 22, his studio announced that it had retained lawyers and would pursue legal measures involving complaints, civil litigation, and potentially criminal reporting in response to what it described as organized dissemination of false and damaging information. Then came another twist on August 25. A company associated with Gong Jun became the subject of attention over a service contract lawsuit. Gong Jun's side stated that the company name had allegedly been misused by an unauthorized party operating a network software business, and that the company had already reported the alleged misuse to police in July. The original blogger involved in the payment dispute also reportedly apologized and clarified that the issue was not directed at Gong Jun personally. At the same time, Liu Yuning's music career offered a very different headline. His song She reached #1 on Kuga Music's Xingyao Xingguang chart, while another current chart report showed Liu Yuning occupying multiple positions in the top 5, including #1 with Come to My Island and another entry at #5. So what could happen next? One possibility is that Liu Yuning gradually shifts the public conversation away from the controversy and back toward his work. This possibility is worth watching because the strongest piece of evidence is not speculation about a future project, it is something already happening. His music continues to attract measurable attention despite the surrounding online conflict. His recent chart performance suggests that controversy has not simply erased audience interest in his music. If this pattern continues, Liu Yuning might benefit from allowing new songs, performances, and existing entertainment appearances to become the dominant conversation. But there is an important limitation. A successful song does not automatically mean that every controversy has disappeared. Online discussions can move in cycles, and renewed arguments involving either fandom could potentially bring older issues back into public attention. A second possibility is that the legal dispute becomes the more important storyline. This possibility deserves attention because Liu Yuning's studio has already publicly established a legal response rather than simply relying on social media explanations. The July 22 statement reportedly described evidence preservation and possible legal action, which means the situation could potentially develop through formal procedures rather than endless fan arguments. If additional official legal developments become public, the conversation could become less about competing interpretations from fans and more about documented evidence and formal outcomes. But again, there is a limitation. A lawyer's statement is not the same thing as a final court judgment. We should not assume that every announced legal measure will necessarily produce a particular result. Until there are official outcomes, the responsible position is to treat the legal process as ongoing. A third possibility is that Liu Yuning and Gong Jun's individual careers continue moving forward separately, while the fan conflict slowly loses relevance. There is some reason to consider this path because both performers have already publicly indicated that their personal relationship was not the central problem being portrayed online. The original dispute was fundamentally about how viewers interpreted a short entertainment clip. If future appearances, music releases, and variety show moments focus on their professional work rather than the argument between fandoms, the controversy could gradually become an old internet story. What would make this scenario more likely? A sustained period without new accusations, fewer viral confrontations, and continued independent career activity from both artists. What could contradict it? Another highly circulated clip, another wave of accusations, or new legal developments could quickly reopen the conversation. And there is a fourth possibility: the controversy itself becomes a lesson in how Liu Yuning's team handles reputation management going forward. This is perhaps the most interesting long-term possibility. The recent sequence shows how quickly entertainment content can transform. A short variety show clip became a fandom dispute. The dispute developed into broader online accusations. The studio responded with legal language. Then a separate controversy involving Gong Jun's company became another flashpoint between online communities. Meanwhile, Liu Yuning continued releasing music and achieving chart visibility. That combination may encourage a more careful strategy in the future, clearer responses when necessary, stronger boundaries around defamatory content, and greater emphasis on verifiable career achievements. But there is a limitation here too. We cannot claim to know what Liu Yuning, his studio, or his management team privately plans to do next. There is no responsible basis for inventing an upcoming project, contract, schedule, or internal strategy. So, what should we watch? First, any official update concerning the legal action announced by Liu Yuning's studio could matter. Second, continued chart performance could show whether his current musical momentum is temporary or sustained. Third, future variety show appearances may reveal whether audiences continue associating him primarily with the controversy or increasingly with his entertainment work. And perhaps most importantly, watch what happens when the internet stops talking about the argument. That may be the real test. At Celeb Buzz Insider, our analysis is that Liu Yuning currently has several possible paths rather than one predetermined future. The controversy could remain a recurring topic, the legal process could become more prominent, or his music and entertainment career could gradually overpower the negative narrative. His recent chart results provide one concrete reason for optimism, but they are not proof of what comes next. The legal dispute is real as a public development, but its eventual outcome remains unknown. And the relationship between Liu Yuning and Gong Jun should not be defined solely by a viral clip when both sides have publicly indicated that their private relationship remains positive. The bigger story may therefore be less about who won an online argument and more about whether Liu Yuning can keep converting attention into long-term career momentum. The next chapter has not been written yet. And that is exactly why this story is worth watching. What happens next could depend on whether the public conversation follows the controversy, or follows the work. You think which possibility has the strongest basis, and what would you like Liu Yuning to do next?